I'm the review reviewer. You review it, I review you. This is my partner, Mr. Rick. And welcome to our final installment of PokeMonth.
I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was.
Sorry our last few videos for PokeMonth haven't really been that substantial, but we're gonna make it up to you by doing something big. The Animenia review of Pokemon the Movie 2000.
For my taste, but heck yeah.
What in the name of Mother 3? Oh, hey!
Don't you just love how in reviews you can just bend the laws of physics to your liking? Power of comedy. Get out of here!
Nice catch.
Awesome, if somewhat confusing. Let's do this.
Hey, Linkara. Hey, Juario. Hey, Suede.
Hey, Linkara. Hey,
What? You two gonna make fun of me again?
You know what? No, we're not. I apologize for the way we acted, and I realize we were out of line. Juario, if you are more comfortable feeling or dressing like a woman, we most certainly cannot and will not judge you for it. You go ahead and get more in touch with your feminine side, sir. We won't hold you back.
Wow. Someone got a lot of flack on the last video.
Huh? Dude, I just wanted to be a girl because girls are hot. What? Did you... jeez. You guys, not everything's a cry for help. Look, I'm tired of the whole issue, so I'll just go back to being a guy so we can forget the whole thing, okay?
Okay.
Well, hello there. Are you a boy or a girl? Well, excuse me, princess.
All right, Mr. Freaky Voice Guy, we're rested and ready for the next level. Do your worst.
I am not a freaky voice guy. You people certainly took your sweet time, didn't you?
Yeah, there was a good 5-month gap between these videos.
Pokemon the Movie 2000 was released sometime near the turn of the century, I think, and Pokemania was still in full swing. Most of the people who loved Pokemon were of the age that it wasn't embarrassing to go see them on the big screen, and those who were older than the target demographic had plenty of relatives they could use as an alibi.
Huh! Who knew Hulk Hogan was into Pokemon?
This movie was just as much of an event as the first for Pokemon fans. Heck, you could understand getting even more hype for this one after seeing the poster. It made it seem like everything was more legendary and big this time around. It was even better than the Japanese poster, for Pete's sake. How could it go wrong?
I don't know. I think the Japanese poster is better.
Not to mention you got some awesome trading cards out of it, too.
All I ever got was that ancient Mew card.
All right, let's get started. We once again open on a dramatic voiceover, filling us in on the central theme of the movie, while a Slowking wonders why he's staring at the ocean.
Hey, why are you so quick to say it's a boy? Slowking do have a 50% chance of being female, you know. Yeah, it's a boy.
I thought you were done with the whole gender issue.
We hear a prophecy about 3 titans who, when their equilibrium is disturbed, will bring about the end of the world, even though a greater titan will show up to stop the fighting. But he needs the help of a chosen one to beat them. However, the great titan won't help the chosen one until he reunites 3 treasures. You know what, this prophecy seems kind of lame, doesn't it?
Are you kidding? It's downright stupid. I've never gotten why prophecies have to always be so vague. This one doesn't even have the "everyone has the freedom to choose" clause for being vague. It's just a set of instructions told in poetry format. Would it have killed the guy who wrote it to say, "In case of apocalypse, bring the 3 jewels that represent each titan together and then it'll get better"?
Well, yeah, but if you do something like that, you lose all credibility.
Well, it seems like it was specific enough for this guy, whoever he is.
Yeah, this guy, whom we've never been introduced to before, is convinced that the 3 titans of fire, ice, and lightning are in fact the legendary Pokemon Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres. Even though the prophecy could easily refer to Kyurem, Zekrom, and Reshiram, but of course we'll let that slide once again, as those games haven't been invented yet.
You can also argue the fact that this is in the Orange Islands, and those 3 are all the way in Unova.
Once he receives coordinates from the Exposition 3000, he heads off to the Holy Crap!
Who is this guy?
Why does he have a pneumatic chair that rises through his Sistine Chapel-sized ceiling into a flying steampunk fortress of death?
Okay, when did this character suddenly become amazing? I mean, sure, it's goofy and over the top, but I just want to keep watching to know this guy's story. How did he get this thing? Why does he want the birds?
And how does he keep his Doomcopter afloat when the blades don't spin nearly fast enough?
Hey, maybe the propellers are just wind generators that power the anti-graviton or something.
That just raises further questions.
Too many questions, damn it! This is Pokemon, you're supposed to roll with it!
Unanswered questions or not, we see this guy. Does he even have a name?
Yeah, it's Lawrence the Third. I'm sure they mention it somewhere.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure they don't.
Right, well, we see him pursue the living Olympic torch using this bizarre interface that looks like a crappy pre-alpha build for a tactical RPG.
Oh, Larry, you can't catch creatures in the context of a game? That's just silly.
Ha! Ha! Ha!
So after he defeats the rocks with ice bombs, what the heck, he finally attacks Moltres with the same projectiles to weaken him.
Odd, considering ice isn't very effective against fire.
No, that's a sound strategy if he wants to catch him. I mean, you obviously don't want to make him faint, then you'll never be able to catch him. Man, I hated that when that happened.
Wouldn't it be easier to catch the thing if it was unconscious and immobile?
Take that up with Nintendo and Game Freak.
So Lupin the Third here finally catches the Titan of Fire and does what every person in his position would do. He gloats.
Well, I've taken the first piece without much difficulty. It's like a simple game of chess.
No it isn't.
Oh, sure it is. As long as you play chess like this.
Hey Suede, want to play a game of chess with me?
Do I ever? I love chess.
Ooh, me too. I get to face the winner.
Wait, what are you... Oh!
Yeah!
No, we are not playing chess!
Our man Lawrence does his best Malcolm McDowell impression and declares his villainous intention.
Bring together all three. Their treasures combined tame the beast of the sea. Lugia.
Yeah, and destroy the world, you jerk! What, you don't believe in that particular part of the prophecy?
Yeah, you know how it is. Some assholes just don't care what happens to the world as long as they get what they want.
It's time for the insanely over-the-top American opening.
This Sunday! Three Titans clash against the supremely ambiguous power of one. O-N-E-1.
What's the title of this movie again?
Beats me, I thought it was Pokemon 2000.
Says on IMDb it's Pokemon the Movie 2000.
Well, let's not fight about it. I don't want us to have a title match.
You know, we've been dealing with a lot of bad puns this month. We don't need any from you.
Hey Suede, want to play chess?
So, the movie finally starts in earnest, and we're reunited with our favorite trio of underage poachers.
And somehow their boat is going backwards.
Ash Ketchum, Pokemon trainer and Dimbulb extraordinaire. Misty, slumming gym leader and feminine touch. Then, of course, there's Tracy Sketchum.
Boo!
Hey, why is there so much hate for Tracy anyway? Sure, he doesn't have the endearing lovesick quirks of Brock.
You say endearing, I say annoying.
Making him essentially a zero-note character, but that's not usually a reason to hate on a character. Heck, at least he's not annoying.
I think that's just it. He replaced Brock, which a lot of viewers had really developed a connection to. That, and he was the first character to replace another one, so there really wasn't any precedent of changeable companions.
I think that's why so many people ended up hating May in Pokemon Advanced.
Our heroes, realizing it's a beautiful day, decide to show off their animation budget.
No, wait, Ash, this is Charizard.
I'm surprised that hasn't happened before. I mean, how are you supposed to tell the difference? All the Pokeballs look the same.
Okay, it's been a while since I've seen this movie, but I'm pretty sure that wasn't Charizard.
Hell, they edited it out before you could even tell what Pokemon it is. Granted, Linkaro's point about the Pokeball still stands, but still.
We're way off course. Huh? That's Shamuti.
Shamuti?
Shamuti? Shamuti?
Shamuti?
Shamuti.
I should probably be laughing at that, but I'm just trying to figure out what musical that is.
Turns out the weather's going crazy all over the place, including in Ash's hometown of Pallet.
Good morning, Delia.
Delia? Ash's mom has a name?
I always thought it was just Mom. Mom Ketchum.
Yeah, and she's got a beautiful name. But everyone calls her Mom.
Pokemon are more in tune with nature than we are. When something goes wrong, they can sense it. And I'm afraid something somewhere is going terribly wrong.
Foreshadowing.
Irony.
But vast and unexplained meteorological phenomena will have to take a back seat. After all, Ash is finally getting some luck with the ladies.
You should check out his luck with women in the X and Y series.
Promise me something. Huh? If I happen to beat you in our battle, you're coming with me, sweetie.
Is she serious? Her and Ash? No way! Oh, and Misty, try not to get jealous.
How does she know her name?
I'm pretty sure they brought it up somewhere before they introduced Melody.
These shots framed so badly.
Oh, that's 4Kids at work again. They cropped the film to full screen because they were under the impression that kids didn't like widescreen.
Well, obviously.
I mean, just look at the horrible box office records for such widescreen trash as, the entire Don Bluth and DreamWorks catalog and most of Disney. Clearly the widescreen was what killed them. Kids hate that crap.
Hey, don't shoot the messenger. At least I didn't mention the whole Titan God thing.
Wait, what?
They changed the word they used for the legendary birds from god to Titan.
But they're clearly Greek-style gods of the elements.
I actually don't mind that too much. I mean, when I think of gods, beings like Zapdos, Articuno, and Moltres aren't exactly the first thing I think of.
The inhabitants of the island are apparently in the middle of an annual cultural celebration surrounding the three legendary birds. The girl who got all up in Misty's grill is meant to be playing a key role in the main ceremony, but is uncomfortable in the role and feels restricted by her island's backwards lifestyle.
Well, you can hardly blame her when apparently Ash is the only Pokemon trainer on the island. Well, at least they have to act that way, as the ceremony also revolves around a chosen one, which is apparently meant to be a Pokemon trainer. Wait, did they have Pokemon trainers back in Prophecy times?
Probably. Wait till we get to the fourth movie. They have steampunk Pokeballs.
Really? That sounds awesome.
It isn't.
I don't know, I think it's pretty cool.
And of course, since 4Kids didn't want to, save money, they replaced the soundtrack here from traditional Japanese folk to Caribbean calypso.
But I thought 4Kids wanted to stamp out ethnicity. Isn't Caribbean just as ethnic?
Don't bother, Suede. Ours is not to question why.
Now, sometimes you really gotta wonder what kind of idiots are at the head of 4Kids.
And she says, no, but I have crabbies.
I'm not touching that one.
Nothing to see here. Pikachu, sensing something big is going down, grabs Ash's beloved hat and, I guess, just kind of hurries him along, as he was going to leave anyway? Hey, where's Team Rocket? We haven't seen them in a while, but, oh, there they are.
God damn it! I was hoping we could avoid Team Rocket for most of this movie.
Hey, was that Team Rocket?
I think we killed them.
Yay!
Woo!
Disturb not the harmony of fire, ice, and lightning.
Thank you for that. Why are you here again?
Why, to show off another Generation 2 Pokemon, of course.
Really? Lugia wasn't enough? Well, they've already shown us that Peekaboo was just a childish fever dream, so why not?
What idiots on the internet even came up with Peekaboo anyway?
So of course the storm kicks up and Melody and Misty give chase, worried about Ash's welfare, while engaging in catty banter.
You sure are sensitive about somebody who's not your boyfriend.
He's not my boyfriend. He's a boy and he's a friend, but he's not a boyfriend.
You talking about me?
That's our Tracy. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
You know what the funny thing is? With Tracy, it could very well have been a joke, but if it was Brock, he probably would have meant it.
Ash and Pikachu land on the first island. And when I say land, well, I mean it.
And then the others follow suit. And when I say follow suit...
Hey! Are you guys okay?
They seem stranded until Melody has an idea with dubious physical application.
It flies?
No, Tracy. You see, this is why people don't like you.
Hey, I'm with Tracy. How the fuck is she getting that thing to fly?
Meanwhile, Ash and Pikachu have found their first sacred stone.
Suddenly, Team Rocket show up just in time to be out-entranced.
By a boat.
You gotta admit, though, that is a pretty damn glorious entrance.
After Ash is reunited with his posse and Jessie asks him to draw her like one of his French girls, out of nowhere Zapdos shows up
Wait, you missed something important.
What?
This is the part where Jessie and James's relationship is finally spelled out.
Huh? She's just cautioning him on the dangers of the opposite sex. That's not decisive at all.
Not in the Japanese version.
クーラー、男女交際好きだ嫌いだでガキンチョが揉めるな。10年早い。
僕たちお兄さんお姉さんごめん遅い。
どっちにしろおみゃらはラブラブとは無縁だにゃ。
First of all, 5 years older, Jessie and James are 15? What? Second of all, Labu Labu. Japan has known about this for how long?
12 years, it seems.
Ah, thanks, 4Kids. Keep the mystery alive when it's been solved for 12 years. Man, I am old.
Yeah, that is depressing.
Damn, I'm only 19, and that makes me feel old.
It's Zapdos.
Zapdos wreaks general havoc and proclaims, through Meowth translating Pikachu's electric transmission somehow, that he claims the island as his own.
Hey, I just realized something.
What's that?
Ash somehow knew it was Zapdos on sight. Normally the kid doesn't know any Pokemon from a hole in the ground. Why didn't he whip out his Pokedex?
Hey, you're right. I'd actually like to see the entry for Zapdos. Zapdos, the electric Pokemon. Duh.
Is there a reason why the Pokedex is transparent?
Our favorite nondescript villain appears to trap Zapdos now that it's been weakened.
Not only is Zapdos apparently subdued by electricity, which should have little to no effect on him, the whole gang and the freaking boat get somehow collectively mistaken for a giant bird and brought along for the ride. Why not?
All right, that means we finally get to hear Larry's backstory, right?
I'm afraid I'm not a trainer, young lady. I am merely a collector.
That's disgusting! The way you talk, it's like Pokemon are just things to collect, like dolls or stamps!
Oh, this is rich. Yes, do. Enlighten us, Misty. Enlighten us on the evils of capturing and collecting Pokemon for your own amusement. Oh, heaven forbid this man should collect Pokemon for purely aesthetic value while you force them into legalized cockfights.
Gotta catch 'em all. Perhaps you've heard that phrase. It's only the flippant slogan of the entire company. First the anti-fighting message in the first movie, and now this, an anti-collection message. What's next, an anti-breeding message? Way to slam your own merch for it, kid.
Okay, as some of you may remember, I defended the anti-fighting message in Pokemon the first movie, but there is no excuse for this one.
The funniest part is that, once again, it's not how it goes down in the Japanese version.
Oh, you're kidding.
You see, in that version, Misty is simply asking why he's capturing them in such a cruel manner, instead of in the Pokeballs like everybody else.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. Why doesn't he?
コレクターなのだ。実物をこの眼で見れてこそコレクションと言える。
So why doesn't he just put them in a Pokeball?
I'm pretty sure the code of Pokemon or something dictates that they have to obey his will if he manages to capture them in the traditional method.
No, it doesn't. At all. There is literally no context to support that.
There have been tons of instances of Pokemon disobeying their trainers, like Dawn's Piloswine.
Piloswine, take down! Hold on, I didn't say dig!
There's also Iris's Excadrill.
Alright, Excadrill, use just did!
It's a dream!
Right. And don't forget to ignore everything I say.
In the X and Y series, Ash's Froakie was constantly being brought back to Professor Sycamore's lab because it never listened to any of its previous trainers. And need we forget Ash's Charizard?
Charizard, please get up! Get up and battle!
Hell, it doesn't even work in context of the video games because if you don't have enough badges, higher level Pokemon can very well likely disobey you.
I began my collection with a Mew card, and now I have all this.
That's it? That's all you're gonna give us?
He went from an ancient Mew trading card to a steam-powered Helifortress. Impressive.
Oh. You are going to make me rich.
Oh, come on. There's gotta be more to it than that. There's more in the Japanese version, right, JW?
Yep.
Oh, awesome. And?
You got a booklet at the ticket office where you find out his mom died.
And?
That's it.
My only hope is that there was more in that booklet than just that.
After Larry releases them, we see that hundreds of Pokemon are heading for the island for some reason. The water Pokemon go by sea.
Hey, Ekans isn't a water type.
So, who says they can't swim?
And the flying Pokemon go by air, leaving all the other types on the cliffs, wishing they had wings, or lamenting their weakness to water.
With me now are Professor Samuel Oak and Professor Felina Ivy to help shed some light on this phenomenon.
Samuel? Yeah, they're just throwing out the first names today, huh?
I don't know why, but for some reason that one's not as surprising to me.
Long story short, Oak says that the three Pokemon together create the ocean currents and keep the harmony of the ocean in check.
Which got a much more scientific explanation in the Japanese version.
Although somehow I think that either way, the explanation will be complete bullshit.
What if the ancient legend is coming true?
If it is true, all intelligent life will be destroyed.
Where'd you come to that conclusion? It just said destruction, not annihilation.
There's really that much of a difference?
Crap, it worked so well against Mewtwo. I mean, I died and all, but still.
Now, Ash, not all problems can be solved by body checking them.
Not all, but some.
I choose you, Charizard!
I obey you now, for some reason. And yes, nitpickers, I checked that out. The movie came out in Japan on July 17th, 1999, and the episode where Charizard finally learns to trust Ash was aired on July 22nd. Deal with it.
Dude, if anything, you're the one being nitpicky.
And that was where Tracy got ripped off.
Huh?
In the Japanese version, this was his shining moment. He figures out that Pikachu's electricity would convert Squirtle's water into hydrogen and oxygen, and then Charizard's fire would ignite the gases into a big boom. So he warns the others.
But why would they cut that?
Who knows? Maybe he looked too ethnic when he said it.
Maybe 4 kids are under the insinuation that kids don't like science.
Just kidding.
Oh, please. If that was gonna kill them, they'd probably die on the way down.
Legendary birds are meant to fight. Not like this.
Not like this!
Let it go!
Quick, we may need this.
Yo, dog, I heard you like boats.
Boatception.
Is it just me, or do they all look way too enthusiastic about that joke?
Brings the ancient stones to the altar, but shock horror, one is still missing. Meanwhile, our headliner appears, ladies and gentlemen.
Ooh.
Ah, pretty.
You gotta admit, Lugia is pretty fucking awesome.
Aww.
The f***?
I think you got him!
I'm not dead. I'm getting better.
Then, of course, it's revealed that Ash is the chosen one for really realsies.
Well, that's stupid. That prophecy could be referring to any Ash.
But the legend says its song will fail.
And thus the earth should turn to ash.
Truly.
Now That would be awesome.
Yeah, but the last time Pokemon tried to use guns, it got banned from the U.S.
Ash, of course, takes this knowledge that he's the chosen one and goes and does what he was about to do anyway and retrieve the final Dragon Ball. Yeah, whatever. But not before making a glorious pun.
Yeah, you're right. I can do it. I'm the chosen one. Right now, I feel more like the frozen one.
Are bad puns just a staple of Pokemon?
Well, after a good old-fashioned heel-face turn from Team Rocket, Ash retrieves the sphere and puts it in his dimensionally transcendental pocket. Lugia then offers him a ride to the altar as they trash their ride, just like the 5 other modes of transport that have been trashed today.
Yeah, I think you'll find that Ash has a bit of a talent for destroying boats.
Lugia! Why are all those Pokemon down there?
Because they feel they must be here in case they are needed.
In case they... Where the heck were these guys 15 minutes ago? I'd say we could have used them.
But what can they do to help?
They are not sure, and that is why they are here.
What do you mean?
That just one Pokemon could help the world would be worth the journey for thousands of them any day. But this day, the one that can make all the difference is you.
You know, this is the part of the movie that really falls down for me.
Huh?
This whole power of one deal. This isn't one individual overcoming adversity or a triumph of the human spirit. Name one important moment in this movie where Ash has not needed any help.
He didn't need help coming up with that Frozen One singer.
Care for a game of chess, Wade?
You know, I don't often say this, but I want to see these guys play a game of chess.
Then, the final conflict rears its ugly head as Larry makes one final attempt to capture Lugia, sending him to the bottom of the ocean.
Man, Pikachu always has to keep Ash alive, doesn't he?
Hey, all you water-type Pokemon, you're needed now! You are all needed! Come save the Chosen One!
Hey, did you guys hear something? No. Okay, then.
No? Well, thanks for the plot cul-de-sac. You guys look really cool.
Shh. It's time for the line that launched 1,000 fanfics.
Huh?
I'll go look for him. And Dash is never really alone because he's got me.
Oh, that.
Well, hello.
Oh, come on. They're like 10 years old.
Besides, the fanfiction started within the first few episodes.
Well, that doesn't mean a relationship can't develop. I mean, sure, it's platonic now, but girls develop crushes earlier than boys, and Ash can get older and taller. What?
You were a Poke shipper, weren't you, Swade?
No! Just because Pokemon was the first fandom I experienced fanfiction from doesn't mean I had any preferences in shipping.
He totally was. You were heartbroken when she left, weren't you, Sway?
Now you listen here. Whether or not I shed any tears when the trio parted ways is none of your...
This is just precious.
Enough!
Okay, come on. I'm pretty sure that everybody cried at the end of the Johto saga. Granted, Swade's probably still a Poke shipper, but still.
So Ash places the crystal, activating Laser Floyd and flooding the altar with Ecto Cooler. Then Melody plays the theme song.
Wait.
And... What?
I was just gonna say that in the Japanese version, the glowing stones matched up to the music a lot better. Although the Western version did a decent job.
Personally, I really love the theme from this movie.
Oh, yeah, I guess that is pretty cool.
After the Song of Storms is played, everything returns to normal. The birds are at peace, and Lugia makes a water rainbow all the way across the sky.
Oh, hey, man. What?
Oh, the things I said about you on TV.
And remember, every day
is Ash Wednesday.
I get the feeling that the pun was too tempting, despite the fact that it doesn't make any sense.
Hey, it looks like it's time for our plot closure regarding the villains of the piece.
Lots of people saw what you did out there. And all of them are watching you right now.
Oh.
Are they looking at us?
Team Rocket knows who we are.
And they know we saw them do something that will get them fired.
What the hell are you worried about? These are the guys who get blown up by an electric mouse every week.
How it all began. And how I'll begin again.
Boy, he didn't learn anything, did he?
Am I the only one who wants to see this guy come back for another movie?
You shoehorned in pop music that has nothing to do with the plot. Well, actually, to be fair, they did write a theme for this movie, and they got Donna Summer, of all people, to sing it. I guess we should be glad they didn't go with some of her other popular songs.
Then
the shoehorned in stuff comes in.
Sweet merciful crap! What is this noise?
It's Weird Al, Linkara, but not as we know him.
Mood whiplash! Mood whiplash!
It's in my head! It's in my head!
So overall, this review is pretty good. Again, if you have no real interest in Pokemon, you should steer clear of it, but otherwise I would really recommend it.
I'm the Review Reviewer, and thanks for joining us for PokeMonth.
We all